If there's something that annoys you, something that gets on your nerves, something that is the one thing that sets you off, that is a pet hate.
Pet hates. What I hate, pet hates. I don't hate too much. I'm annoyed by certain things, so can we go for pet annoyances? Yeah, instead of hates. Yeah, that's better.
Or someone who's a noisy eater.
Oh, yes.
That really annoys me.
Like that, Joan. Yes, like that.
Oh,
That's annoying.
The pair of yous are annoying.
Very nice, though.
Please, you enjoyed it.
Yes, it was
Yes.
very nice.
At the expense of our ears.
Frustrating the life out of her.
I burst a couple of blood vessels there.
I don't like that
Yes,
at all.
Joan, that's a pet hate.
I've already got
Doing it
plenty.
again?
Yeah, annoyances.
Annoyances.
Yeah, what annoys you? You. Okay, fine. I think that wraps up that question. Can we move on to the next one now?
No, let's elaborate. Let's find out why I find you annoying.
It is very self-righteous, actually.
No.
You
No,
are.
I'm
You
not
always
having
think
that.
you're right.
No,
I like to get the last word.
No, that's not right.
Well, I think you do think you're right.
No, I've changed a lot.
But there you're doing it now. Saying I'm wrong, so you're right.
Well, I'm hardly going to say, oh yes, I am self-righteous.
Not in a horrible way, though.
Oh, what's a nice way of being
I
self-righteous?
don't know, it's
then?
just you. I'm just used to you being like that.
Right. Self-righteous? No. No.
What do you think about speed cameras?
Eating?
Speed cameras.
Sorry.
Speed cameras.
Nope. Don't get it.
Do you know what speed cameras are?
Cucumbers.
I don't drive myself, but if everybody obeyed the rules, the traffic would go much better and everybody would get there quicker. Like on the motorways, this happened travelling back from Snowdon. We were sticking to the rules and regulations of 40 miles per hour and there were still cars coming past and I was shouting and cheering to the speed camera saying, get that one, get that one.
Speed cameras.
Bees, honey.
No, speed cameras. You know, to catch cars if they go. Yeah, speed cameras.
No.
Because I can't stand listening to the radio, because the radio I find really irritating. I can't stand just having loads of noise in my head. I hate that. I just like to have silence in the morning, and if there's any noise, it's just me talking to myself.
Sometimes when you're talking, I feel I'm coming in a bit too quick before you finish the sentence, and I'm thinking,
We all do that.
I shouldn't have done
And
that.
the other thing is,
And
I find
I hate myself for
saying
doing
the words
it.
for you. Say the words.
Yeah, I don't like people breathing down my neck. No, I don't like anybody breathing down my neck. And it makes the hairs on my back of my neck stand up if I can feel somebody breathing down my neck. Get back.
Drunk people. I hate them. They behave like a gang of wild animals who are not animals. They're loud, they shout, birds fly off. They're singing hip-hop song that doesn't make sense to anybody. And they're wearing these white trainers and walking like orangutans normally, yeah? The hands isn't forward, they bend, and they're going like...
It's just like if you're driving down the motorway, now they sling bleeding coke cans out the window at 60 and 70 mile an hour.
Do they?
Yeah, that's happened to me 2 or 3 times in the last couple of months. All of a sudden some practice slings a coke can out the window and it goes bouncing along and goes past your window about 70 mile an hour. And hope as you're driving along that the thing don't bounce on your motor, innit? Because you end up with dents everywhere. You end up with hammer finish. Hammer finish motor.
The best thing you can do is leave traces of poo in the way, because they're actually not looking at all on the ground, they're looking at the girls around them. They step on it, they walk with it, then starting to smell. So they blame each other and they look at the sole of the shoes and that's it. They've been hit by us. It showed them that you can be dangerous, but in a smelly way.
This is a funny question. What do you think your most unappealing habit is, both of you?
Energetic.
Unappealing habit.
Unassuming habits.
Unappealing.
I've no
Sort of
idea.
nasty habits. If you've got any bad habits.
None.
None.
Oh, no, we haven't any bad habits.
No.
Bad habits. When people say something, I pretend I haven't heard them, so they repeat it again. That's a bad
What
habit.
for?
Just do it.
Dave's got some bad habits. He goes like that with his jaw. Really annoys me. Like,
Oh, Dougie does this? I mean, what good's that, anybody?
well, I don't know what Dave does. It's as if like his jaw's locked and he has to go.
God.
My habit is, and this
I
has
do
been
that.
explained to me by my children as well.
Yeah, this has been
When I
explained to me
say
by my children.
when I say a joke, I go on to
Explain it. What's that?
somebody's flushed the toilet upstairs.
I have a few bad habits. I tend to scratch a lot, and I also, unknowing to me, I tend to pass wind a lot when I'm in public, but that doesn't really worry me, because you've got to pass wind or you might blow up.
What's that mean?
Bad smells.
Yeah, that's natural, isn't it?
Not that much, isn't natural.
You've got that many bad habits. I don't know if we've got all evening to discuss them.
I don't think I have I? Hey? What bad habits have I got? Pardon you.
Pardon me.
Yeah, you can't not do it, can you? It's not like biting your nails, which you just do.
You don't have to force it so much.
Don't force it, just...
You do. Like that.
It's not true.
I hate spiders and I hate spiders and spiders and spiders.
As I say, I think we're being used by people. Our tolerance is being used by people for their own ends. I was most annoyed with the election of the last Labour Party. We weren't really bothered about what they did.
I always insist on wearing my hat from my cracker dome.
I hate wearing my hat from my Christmas cracker. It really annoys me.
Yeah, but I make you wear it.
You don't.
But I want you to wear it this year, please.
I'm not wearing it.
Well,
Just annoys me. It gets me hot, flustered, and as I'm eating, I can hear a rustle in my ears.
Russell?
Yeah, I can. I can hear
We don't have a Russell in
the
our family.
paper on the hat.
Oh dear. Well, what if I made like a woolen Christmas hat that doesn't rustle? Would you
No,
wear
thank
that?
you.
Would you not?
There are things about Christmas, about midnight mass on Christmas Eve that I find unbearably emotional. There are Christmas carols or things that one hears traditionally at Christmas, and I tend not to hear these anymore. Try to avoid hearing them because I find them painful. I'm too easily touched.
9 to 12 years ago. 12 birds are calling. How does the first line go? The first year Christmas, my soul of such a And a partridge in a pear tree. No, I can't remember that song.
On the 12th day of Christmas. Oh no, on the first. That's a good start, isn't it?
Straight into the end.
Oh, hang on, no, it just start with 12. Count down, isn't it?
The first day of Christmas, my true love sent to me a partridge in a pear tree.
A partridge in a pear tree, what do you think that's symbolic of?
Oh, I don't know, do I?
What, partridge, it's in a pear tree.
No idea. I mean, look at the state of it. 5 gold rings.
No, just a minute.
Ladies dancing, Lord
No.
sleeping.
No.
A
You're
partridge in a pear tree. I've no idea.
You're leaping ahead.
I don't know.
A partridge in a pear tree makes me think about good target practice as you're trying to knock the partridge out of the pear tree. That's what it conjures.
Why would somebody want a partridge in a pear tree?
A partridge in a pear tree, that's where partridge live, in it.
In a pear tree?
Do you know where
How many
partridge? Do you know where partridges live? No. Shut up there. You have to take the man's word for it.
Whatever.
Let's say a Christmas, my true love give to me a part. Oh, God.
Christmas. It's good because it's a long holiday. I don't have to worry about things. A few days. Or rather, I can worry about something different, like meeting my family.
Well, in my family, the habits are probably much the same as most families at Christmas, and they involve the large belly habit, followed by the large tumbler of alcoholic beverage habit, followed by the huge argument habit, followed by the early bed habit and the indigestion habit, and then the oh God, we've got to be here for another 4 days habit, and why did you buy me all this crap habit.
On the second day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 2 turtle doves and a partridge in a pear tree.
The doves.
I don't know what that's got to do with it, man.
Doves are supposed to be 2 doves. You take one, and it's supposed to bring you good luck when the 2 doves come together and all that. I mean, you've seen stories on the telly about it. I mean, yeah, that's supposed to be true. If you're a dove, it's supposed to be good luck. That's what they reckon.
On the second day of Christmas, my true love gave to me. Sorry, I had to cut it.
2 turtle doves. Some type of weird genetic experiment. I don't know. A dove and a turtle mixed together in some laboratory. I don't know.
See, 2 doves makes me think of target practice as well. I hadn't realised that I was so psychopathic, really. 2 doves conjures image of peace over Christmas. 2 white doves sitting in a tree. That's lovely, isn't it?
On the third day of Christmas, my true love said to me,
French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. 3 French hens. Well, they're just hens that are French, aren't they, really?
But I don't see the relevance.
That wouldn't be so good, 3 elephants, would it?
I said relevance, not elephants.
Oh, right.
What do you think French hens are? Do you have any idea at all? Whatever.
3 French hens. Are they in the tree?
La patrie, le jour de gloire est arrivé. Contre nous de la tyrannie, les tanglats sanglants élevés.
Yes. Well, they've flown from France a long way. They're not the 3 wise men.
No.
Or they might be.
I don't know.
Sorry?
You know, it's difficult to know, isn't it?
Oh.
How did the 3 wise men know that the North Star was going to lead them to something special? Well, the North Star is there, isn't it?
It's there.
It's there.
But go and find it. Go and
Follow
find
it.
Find
Where's it going to take you?
The three kings brought gifts to the baby Jesus.
Yeah, frankincense, gold, and myrrh.
Yeah.
Not PlayStation, iPod, and I don't know. I can't think of a third one.
What are the three kings? I don't know.
On the fourth day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves.
And a partridge in a pear tree with lots of roast potatoes.
Now, if you opened the door and there was 4 birds calling, you'd say, who sent you?
Yeah, I mean... Yeah,
I ain't got a clue really what that's all about, that song.
And they'd say, well, your true love sent us round. We're just calling. See if you're okay. Everything's alright at Christmas. Do you need anything?
I mean, we never took the time out to look at it. I mean, that's the trouble with life, isn't it? There's so much to do, and there's so much to know.
Do you want anything? So, that's what that's about. 4 birds calling.
And the thing is, I mean, even these people that know everything, there's so much more they don't.
When you
even
get
know.
higher up in the song, it's like going sort of, so many drummers drumming and things like that. I mean, what's that all about?
I mean, it could be anything, couldn't it?
On the 5th day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 5 golden rings, 4 collie birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves,
and a partridge in a pear tree.
It's also, I think Christmas is for children.
My fishing?
Children.
We go to sleep for Father Christmas, bring some punch, and he gets hungry, and we leave a snack for him. Dough, and some biscuits, and some milk. That's all. So, I'm tired.
Did you not sleep very much last night?
No.
I love everything about Christmas. I love all the Christmas decorations.
It's just so sparkly and twinkly and lovely.
It's really relaxing. It is. It's lovely, actually.
You like the reindeer with its legs going and everything.
I love them. Kids love it, man. It's lovely.
Why do we have a Christmas tree?
Why are you talking about Christmas trees?
Yes.
Well, Norway were the first to start it, weren't they? Norway, that's where the Christmas trees come from originally.
Have you just made that up?
No.
Yes.
Just made
Yes, he has the little devil. Well, it's nothing to do with it. It'll have some religious meaning also.
Well,
of course it will.
And
we ought to be
Nicholas.
ashamed of ourselves because we don't know.
Nicholas.
Yeah, was that Santa? Well, Santa as well. Santa
It
comes.
was Santa, no, that's Nicholas.
So, you want me to sing? Right. Okay, are you recording?
And what about the 12 Days of Christmas?
Oh, yes.
Do you know that?
Yes. Do you want me to sing it all? It'll take me forever.
So I get a little sniffly.
You come to interview me and you're allergic to dogs. No wonder you're feeling a bit sniffly. Oh dear, so funny.
12 Days of Christmas. I know it, but I don't know the words. No.
It's on the 5th day of Christmas. My true love gave to me 5 golden rings, calling birds, 3 French hens,
2 turtle doves.
No. French hens now.
2 French hens. And
3 French hens.
3, is it?
Yeah.
3 French
Three
hens.
French hens.
And the
2 turtle doves.
And a partridge
in a pear tree.
On the 6th day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 6 geese a-laying.
What's all that about?
Well, what they do, because they're not mammals, they lay eggs.
5 gold rings, 4 calling birds, 3 French hens. I don't remember anymore.
6.
6 made singing. I think I might have made that one up. 6.
I know there are lords a leaping somewhere. But I don't know.
7 lots of leaping.
6 geese a laying.
We're just laying. We're
Yeah, man,
geese
just
and
hang in
we're
it.
Laying.
Yeah, man.
We
just-
are geese and we are just laying. 'Cause we're just laying.
You dig?
Yeah.
On the 5th day of Christmas, 4 calling birds, 2 French hens, 3... Oh, God, I missed it again. Thought I was getting a bit better, we're going down.
Because we always sing out of tune. If you're a foreigner listening to our songs, it sounds out of tune, but it's not really. We are quarter pitch.
Are you sure?
Yeah! On the 10 days of Christmas, la 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 la. Geese are laughing.
1 brace of rabbits,
4 collie birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree.
On the 7th day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 7 swans milking.
7 swans a swimming. As swans do.
Yeah, swimming as they do. Unless it's ice.
That must refer back to the sort of gamey type of thing, bearing in mind it's only royalty that are officially allowed to eat swans. Poor old swans.
I don't know if I've ever listened to the Queen give the Christmas message, but I presume she speaks in a silly voice and says a load of old guff.
This Christmas was awful, but next one will be better. I don't know, I'm doing German accent. I'm so bad at doing an impression of Her Holiness. But is it legal? Because I might get deported doing this, you know?
Enjoy your frozen food and your boring Christmas television, and think of us, sharing little tales of Christmas cheer. I hope you all have a lovely year, and, the end.
On the 9th day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 8 milking.
8 maids milking out in the meadow.
Buxom women in white tops and hay. Hay, lots of hay and cows. And more cows and maids.
Others.
Milking. Others. Ah, get my gun. Nurse, where's my tablet?
The 8 maids or the 6 maids milking, I think that's milking cows, like to feed.
Well, it's got to be, innit? What else
Yeah.
to milk? Goats, I suppose.
Baby. Milking their babies.
Yeah, but you wouldn't be milking the baby, would you?
No, but milking themselves.
Milking mummy.
It's a long song.
four calling birds,
3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and
9 swans are leaping.
On the 9th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 9 ladies dancing, 2 geese are laying, 5 gold rings on a partridge in a pear tree.
on the 10th day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 10 lords a leaping, 9 ladies dancing, 8 maids a milking, 7 swans a swimming, 6 geese a laying, 5 gold rings, 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves,
And a partridge in a pear tree.
on the
10th day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 11 pipers piping.
That would annoy you, wouldn't it?
Eleven maids a dancing, 5 pipe down, 10 drum to 8 maids a milking, 7 swans a swimming, 6 geese a laying, 4 collie birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree.
I don't know the words because that was one of the posh songs when I was a kid. Geordies didn't sing them sort of songs.
It's a nice song, and it always takes you right into Christmas, doesn't it, really? Do you like it? Or... yeah.
Maybe there is something magic about it that I'll rediscover when I get older, or when I'm slightly different. I always complain about Christmas, but I guess maybe I like it a bit.
And a partridge in a pear
tree.
Oh! On the 12th day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 12 lords a leaping,
11 pipers piping,
10 drummers drumming,
5 ladies dancing,
8 maids a milking,
2 French hens,
6 geese a laying, 5 gold rings, 4 collie birds, 3 French hens,
2 pigeons.
We know it now, but we can't sing it.
I know bits of it, I just can't.
Can't put the words
put the
together.
whole song together.
12 days, is it like the 12th night? Is that what it means? What's all that? It's like...
I don't want to go through all that analysing it.
I know it's late, but I think we need to bottom this
You
one.
can bog off, I'm not doing it.
We need to analyse it to the nth degree.
Change the subject, please.
4 collie birds. No, hold on.
Where are we going now? From the top? Hey?
I think a nice peaceful Christmas for everybody.
Peaceful Christmas, yes, I think we'll have a nice peaceful Christmas.
Yes, I think so.
My Christmas message to the world is love your family, love your friends, love your animals, and love life to the full, because life is so exciting and so enjoyable, and the more you put into it, the more you get out of it. Life's just so fantastic.
My Christmas message would be stop shopping.
My Christmas message to the world is speak to each other, talk, communicate. It's good to talk. It's great to have a conversation. If you talk more, I think there won't be so many problems. And let's share the wealth. We all live on the same planet. We're all the same people.
Love each other. Bling!
Don't worry, it's only going to be for a week or so, and then you can forget all about it till next year.
That song at all the 12 days of Christmas, I find it really irritating. The words are daft, 5 gold rings and all that.
Happy Christmas, everybody. Happy Christmas.
I don't think it's very sincere, did it?
Well, it was.
Happy Christmas and enjoy yourselves, and don't forget the true meaning of Christmas.
No. Just thinking about partridges.
Well, stop thinking about partridges.
Is it in danger as a species?
Can you be quiet now, please?
Is it edible? On the first day.
The best effective medicine is... I have no idea.
Yeah, you see, I've had a lot of things wrong with me. I mean, I'm always going to the doctors, and you get there and you find out, you know, there's queues to wait all the time, isn't there? Most of the time, and then Well, I mean, doctors a lot of the time waiting in queues, and well, I mean, most of the time you spend most of your time in the doctors waiting, don't you?
Well, I'm sorry, I'm one of these that goes to the doctor when it's generally necessary. I mean, I ain't one of these goes for every pill, potion and tablet that there is. You know, if I know what's the matter with me, I mean, I expect the doctor to do something about it. I won't be fobbed off by them.
Doctors have always scared me because when I was born I nearly died. I had 50% chance of living when I was born, and was in a little incubator, and all my eyes were covered and I was yellow, which was awful.
I rarely go to the doctor. The last time I did go, he thought I'd died because I hadn't been for such a long time.
Doctors and I are great friends. I owe a lot to doctors. They've kept me alive. I've seen a lot of them. They've come, they've prodded me from top to bottom, in and out, every end, every part of my body. And they cut me open, stitched me up, and did a pretty good job on me all over.
I'm the kind of person that's sort of a bit of a hypochondriac, and if I get a little sort of nagging pain or something, I automatically think it's something really serious. But then I never go to the doctor, really.
You never shut up about it either.
I know. It's just kind of like typical bloke, I suppose, where...
It's not.
Should we write about it now?
Well, it's these heart palpitations I get. You see, you never know when they're going to come, and they just... You got your heart jumping about all over the place.
Can't do with sputum, and I can't do very much with feet. I can't do anything with anybody's feet. I can't have all on doing anything with me, and sputum really makes my stomach turn over. You know. I don't mind vomit.
I developed a funny lockjaw. You know, the dribbles coming out the side of my mouth. I couldn't speak, I couldn't chew. I just wanted to die. Took one look at me and said, "Oh, that's allergic reaction." He gave me my antidote, and immediately my mouth just went back to normal.
That's what I got now. I've got throat swelling now. I've got the tablets for that at the moment as well.
I've took a lot of tablets all my life, about 23,000, and I'm still alive. But at the end of the day, I think without them I'd have been dead.
I once had my head slammed in a door. That was good. I was saying goodbye to my friend, and somebody slammed the door on my head, and it was my birthday, and I had to have 5 stitches in my head, so I've got them as well.
I mean, I could have had a DVT, couldn't I, laid in bed all that time, but I mean, as I said, they gave me an anticoagulant. Anyway, I'm here to tell the story, so there's people worse off than I am, and I can walk about all right.
I remember having a severe cold which didn't shift, and I shared a flat with a couple of vet students who dosed me with Famil syrup, the main active ingredient of which I believe is creosote. So I spent several days smelling like a fence post, but it did the job.
You see, I've had a lot of things wrong with me. There was big problems with my eyes at one stage. I went in about my eyes on a lot of times and had to go to see specialists. And you see that, but what they do is they clamp your head in a big clamp, and they want to bounce things on your eyeballs.
I had an eye operation quite a few years ago. I flew very quickly after I'd had the eye operation.
Well, you can't, I couldn't be doing with that, and so I'm pulling my head out of this clamp all the time.
And it was a real concern. I shouldn't have flown because it put too much pressure behind the eye.
That's another occasion when they told me I could just go on my own way, so I got thrown out of there as well.
I've fallen from this, yeah. I fell from this once. Little blonde, beautiful little blonde lady. It was quite nice, she was. Yes. I used to travel to Birmingham to see her on my old motorbike.
I don't like. I had a blood test the other day, but I do not like needles. I don't like needles at all. I look away when I'm having an injection.
I'm fine with injections into any part of my body, but I won't have them in my mouth. And the reason is that
I've always been completely the opposite. I love injections in my mouth.
Really?
I really quite like them.
In fact, the more sort of intrusive the dentistry, the better I like it, really.
Well, I'm not keen on dentists now. I was the last in Britain to be gassed.
They didn't use enough gas, did they?
Yeah, I mean, I did come round. But that's when they first started phasing gas out, because they said gas is too dangerous.
The big black mask. Oh. You can see it coming towards your face, and the smell of the rubber, and having all my bottom teeth filled without anaesthetic. Dentists. Just brutal. Really brutal.
Dr. Bewers, he was very good, that boy. I mean, I think he was the first one that told me, you know, some of the many things that was wrong with me. You know, I had a problem with the inner ear and asthma, what I had for a long time.
Got a small scar on my forehead where a child threw a brick at me. Well, it seemed like a brick at the time, but...
I've
and I've got a scar here.
I have no scars whatsoever anywhere. Have I? In fact, you count that as a scar. It's only a little.
Well, it is a scar, yeah.
Well, I don't count it as a scar, so.
Do you not?
No.
I've got a scar on my elbow and a scar on my other elbow and a scar on my knee.
On my face, my legs, my stomach.
And a scar on my other knee, my tongue, my head.
My arms, wrists, hands, everywhere. There is no one part on my body that does not have a scar.
I don't think I've got any other scars. Not physical ones, mental ones, obviously. I've got a lot of them, but you can't see them because they're inside my brain.
I was injured badly once. Somebody kicked me in the forehead. Being very young, I got up and carried on and didn't think, it had done me much damage. For all I know, some of that damage may still be there. May still affect some of the things I do and some of the things I say.
I've broken all my toes, I've got a dodgy knee, I've busted both my ankles and bent my feet back round so they're next to my shins, broken my hand and my wrist, my collarbones 3 times, bashed my head, knackered my back. And it's all been worth it.
It's great. I love smiling, I love being happy and jovial, telling jokes, being the butt end of jokes, but hey, now I can do it with a mouthful of teeth and I'm really looking forward to it.
I've had crabs, they were good.
They got a hand, didn't they?
They did, yeah.
Ooh, hang on. Won't let anyone stick a thermometer.
Now it's a lot of talk, is what I find. Yeah. Sorry, what was the question again?
No, because it's the animals, they don't talk
These are
about
two jokes, because we haven't got much time left.
Come on,
I'm watching you. Half an hour's gone, you haven't done nothing.
I think it's good to work because you get dignity from it, and I've done all kinds. I've worked in a hotel. I worked in this hotel in Teignmouth, and I'd be there at night, and you know, I'd work on the desk, I'd help in the kitchen, but I also clean toilets. And why not? I mean, I like different roles, and it just means I can channel the madness in different areas, you know.
I really look forward to going to work because I really enjoy working with people that have got difficulties and struggles, and I feel like I can make a difference.
I think just on a personal level, yeah, I do prefer provide a valuable service to them, definitely. I mean, it's not necessarily painful, but sometimes it can be a bit uncomfortable, me sort of like pulling at their cheek sometimes to get right to the back of the teeth. So enjoy the end result. I think that's what they'd enjoy.
Teamwork. That's one thing about it I like. I wouldn't like to work on my own.
It's over 100, isn't it?
Well, it used to be more than 200.
We've lost quite a few.
Because we're all getting older now, look.
Early on, when you're young, you kind of get too excited and you use up so much energy getting nervous. As you get older, now that I'm older, you just try and stay nice. You try and stay calm. Go away.
Now, when I was very young and first went with the folks, if there was 4 or 5 hooligans, sort of standing in the way, they would be told to move. And God help them if they didn't move. They'd get a bite on the bum, and probably a smack round the ear hole with a cape, from the policeman.
The thing about being in a lab is you're your own boss. You're free to sort of run several things at once, and it's a very social atmosphere in many labs.
Yes, it is.
And ours was a
important.
great place to work. And in some labs you can have music playing, because a lot of what you're doing isn't using your brain at the time.
They use mice, don't they, for things?
What, eyeliner?
It's not nice, really, is it?
What, lipstick on a Yorkshire Terrier?
Oh, no.
I think we should all be in clinical trials. We have a moral obligation. Fortunately, I've never been asked, but I take so many drugs anyhow. I am a clinical trial.
You cannot have an effective working police dog which is non-aggressive. As they get older, all they want to do is be the leader of the pack. It's their instinct. And every now and again, he probably just challenges me for the leadership of the pack. So every now and again we have a little tete-a-tete.
I feel that if I've given my best performance and it's a good one, then obviously I get the reward, the pat on the back, knowing that you've tried to do your best for your coach. They've given you the training, the least you can do.
I do define goals and targets, but then when you get going, it's fun. It's just good fun, really. It doesn't feel like work. It just feels like you're just being really silly.
So sorry. My job is, I'm in the entertainment business, so, I'm a singer, actress, whatever. That means I do a lot of traveling. I have to fly to different countries sometimes.
I'm all right walking on the flat and downhill, but I can't go uphill. As soon as I start to go uphill, I get chest pain. It starts to tighten up. But what I do, where I live, there's a downhill slope down to what they call the co-op. I walk down there and come back on the bus.
It can be stressful, yes, as a runner, because you strive to...
When we work in a factory, we are looked after, aren't we? We have the dentist, the chiropodist, chest x-rays, get all our injections done and everything, without even going out of the factory, which is good.
The ideal weather for me is dry, about 65 to 68, I'm perfect. Anything over that or under that, I'm struggling, especially in cold mornings. I shouldn't really go out in cold mornings, I've been told. I shouldn't go out in cold mornings, I shouldn't go out in the wind, and also, I should, just do what I can do. And I'll say some days I can move mountains, the next day I can't do anything.
You start Monday, Tuesday, you do mornings. Wednesday, Thursday, you do afternoons. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you do nights. But I've done this, you don't know if you're coming or going. Every 2 days, you've got to change your sleep pattern. It's awful.
It is very repetitive.
Oh, yeah.
It's very repetitive.
The foreman's always watching you.
But we couldn't wander about.
We
can't wander about. But if we make a mistake, then we will be severely reprimanded.
You hear about chefs being crazy. He was crazy. He would throw knives around. Thankfully, I didn't have a lot of dealings with him because I was, dealing on other sort of areas in the hotel, and I just kept out of his way. My friend got it in the neck.
I like that feeling of accomplishing something, but if I had the choice, I would rather not work and just have a really nice life. Yeah, I think sometimes you feel a bit like you're a slave to someone else, really.
If you work every day and you're doing something you don't enjoy, then life must be so miserable, and if you're doing something you don't enjoy, I don't know why you don't just give it up and do something you do enjoy, because you may as well enjoy life, because you don't live for very long, so you may as well enjoy what you're doing when you are working. And I really enjoy what I do, and if I ever did something that I didn't enjoy, then I'd give it up immediately and do something that I really did enjoy, because I like to enjoy life,
I'm looking for a job of a sort of clerical nature, administrative perhaps, preferably to do with customer relations.
When I retire from racing, I don't even like to think about it. I feel that each day I can run, touch wood, with injury-free conditions, then I'll run till I drop. Tactics are very important in a race.
I'm terrified of retirement. terrified. I really like my work, and I don't want to retire now.
You can't be morbid, else you wouldn't be able to do the work. you got to have a laugh, and a joke. You have a joke, you know. It's just you or them, isn't it? It is animal instinct there.
I think Feng Shui should be introduced to all office environments.
I'd like to have a go at trying to clean an elephant's tusks.
Can I just tell you something? That's not a human hair on the back of a mouse. That is one of the most grotesque misrepresentations that I know. It's a piece of cartilage shaped like a human ear, put into an epithelial covering. It's not a human ear.
What? I was wondering what you think about communication.
Communication?
It's a difficult one, that, isn't it?
Sorry?
I say that's a difficult one.
I wasn't listening.
No.
No.
Describe communication.
What is communication? Go on. Hey, that's a start, Spice. We do speak the language of it.
You've got the easy bit.
Let's do the question again.
I remember the question.
I mean, the only thing that you can say about me is I speak lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots, and sometimes you can see this in the face of the people that are around, that I don't let them speak now.
You're Australian, not Australian, well, no, what a Russian or a French, I don't know what he was, I think. He come from a bloody broad, but he said a job of what he's bloody talking about half of the time, but he could speak a little bit of Asian, but not a bloody lot.
I just can't imagine that from an UG we've got, you know, such a, like French, for example. French is very sophisticated, isn't it?
Well, French isn't actually as sophisticated as UG, if you ask me, but there you go, that's my view of the French.
There are people that say that the French, you know, aren't very sophisticated, and there's other people that say they are, but an UG, if the French language came from that, it's a bit surprising, really, isn't it?
It would be UG, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
There's a thing of you guys where everybody's called man, even a woman. If you're talking to a woman, you're going, all right, man? I mean, if I'm talking to my mother, I'll say, who, man? But, I mean, that's my mother. My mother's not a man. But, so, doing here, I've said it a couple of times, and it just slipped out. I'll say, if it's a woman, or somebody pushes in, and say, who, man, who are you pushing? She, I'm not a woman, I'm a man. I say, now you're a woman, man.
Urban is the new language. Look at bling. Who's saying bling now? Everybody! Bling!
It's not just about the language, though. There's body language, isn't there? Which is
there is body language, I suppose, which is universal.
And I can tell by looking at you right now that you're looking a little bit edgy, a little bit nervous. And even though I speak the same language as you, I didn't need to know that in order to tell that.
Would you agree that 80% of communication is non-verbal?
Just thinking about that one.
Well, you were looking at me then and communicating. You were frowning a little bit, so you were communicating, weren't you?
Yes, I was.
And I read your face to say that...
Yeah, I guess you could say, 80% is non-verbal.
Yeah. Well, it's 100%, isn't it, if you're a North Sea diver mending oil rigs?
I'm just not biting.
As far as communication goes when we're working sheep, it can either be vocal or whistle. So, to go left, and it goes round to the right, and that turns the sheep to the left. And that's how it works. It's communication between three different animals.
That's a cuckoo. That's a cuckoo that you can call a cuckoo in with that. That does that call twice. and then you have to wait, and the cuckoo that will reply back to you, and then you do it again twice, and that will bring the cuckoo all the way as close as you want that. You can call them in, and then of course you shoot them.
You know when a donkey's unhappy. If a donkey's bad-tempered, it will lay its ears right down like that. Bad-tempered. When they're happy, their ears are usually up or slightly forward like that. But if they're laid right down like that and they're swishing their tail like she is now, that's showing aggression. But their ears have got to be down, right flat on their body to show aggression. But normally they're straight up again, like hers, look. They're straight up. Or just flopped out to the side, like that. They flop them out to the side. You think they're up. But then they'll flop them out. But they're all up, pricked up, looking happy, like that. But that's the only thing, you've got to watch a donkey when she lays her ears right down like that.
Don't whisper things. Don't defeat the object.
Do you have like communication issues between you?
No. We just don't talk.
It's all about knowing.
I tend to be quiet, don't I? I don't do much or say much if I'm.
Or you go if you're angry, Wayne, you go You always know, and I say to Paul, "Oh, Wayne's got a grumpy on."
On your nose, look, see? Oh, that was a good one, wasn't it?
I always thought they were being aggressive.
No, that's showing affection. Now somebody should put your hand in her mouth, look.
I make noises usually in the place of words.
What kind?
You make up loads of
just
baby talk.
Yeah, in the middle of things and things like that. But you understand, don't you, Bab?
And you say things like, "I banged my knee."
All right.
I wouldn't recommend everybody to do it, but no, you put your hand in your mouth. Yeah, show her your tongue. Let's see your tongue. Come on. Show me your tongue. I want to see your tongue. There he is. Look, I got him. Come on, I want to see your tongue. There you go. There's your tongue.
They don't mind you doing that?
No, I wouldn't recommend you. No, I wouldn't say you do it, but no, they just trust me. You say that's what it is.
You need communication. I mean, it doesn't matter that you don't speak the language or you don't speak because you are blind or you don't hear. I mean, it's something you need to live. You need to communicate. You need to communicate with someone. Something you need. Always there's something you need or something someone needs and needs to communicate with you. So it's something really, it's really important. The communication is something.
You have to be positive. You have to talk. You must love one another. You must understand. You must communicate. You must read books. Yeah, for real, man. And we out. Peace. Yeah. Shut up, Brian. Okay.
I've been like that, been cut like some people cut me like that, and you know, why are you speaking to Benny Fast? And didn't so are you talking too loud today? I can't hear what you've been talking about. Then the trouble, I should turn around and you must be bloody deaf then.
The sound of the sea, definitely. It's the sound of the sea. I find it really, really peaceful.
I think I have a very intimate relationship with water because I'm primarily composed of it. But I do think water is one of the great mysteries.
The sea, that black vastness, coupled with your imagination of the sea, and the fact that the sea has all these creatures that are from other planets, the vastness of the sea out there, sea monsters, and the dark. You're right against it, you know what I mean? We're right against it.
I have to say, I don't really like the idea of what's below. I find it a bit kind of like, oh, it's like I think about how deep am I, or is there going to be kind of, you know, because I do swim quite a way out, but I have to say the further out, it's almost like testing myself or something like that. It's like, go on, like how far can you go?
you enjoy being buoyed up by it, but of course with every swell there's always a little dip at the other side, so that's something that you always have to check for and be aware of.
Oh, that's too clever for me, all of that stuff.
How is water water? It's an eternal mystery that every time I look at it, it just completely amazes me. It behaves unlike any other material that we've got on the planet. It has a property that nothing else has, which is a form of quantum coherence. But water seems to have the quantum coherence field moves outside of the molecule, and the water can be seen to be acting as a whole. And this is extraordinarily unusual.
I think it's a great medium. It supports you. It's fun. It's a beautiful environment to be in. So for me, I love water.
I don't love water. I'm scared in the water.
I was scared of the sea because it was really big, and I was really little, and it was just really huge, and it was cold, and it was unpredictable, and you'd get splashed and knocked over, and I got dumped a few times by the waves, and I didn't like that at all, not one bit, and it would all be in my eyes, and no, it wasn't very nice. But once I'd learned to swim, I was much happier, and now I can't. I always go swimming in the sea now.
I like swimming because you can lose yourself. You can be on your own. You have more space. It's nature, it's nice.
When I'm swimming on my front, I haven't still learned the technique of tilting my head to the side and taking in a breath. I take in a lot of water. That's the way it is. Seriously, I drink so much water that it is a danger to others.
Bobbing around in the sea.
I don't like bobbing around
in the sea. Yeah, I used to like bobbing around in the sea, put it that way, when we were younger, but I don't go now, so.
I'm an excellent swimmer, and I've got loads of badges, and I've won a few competitions. I've got life-saving awards and all sorts of badges.
I'd like to have something that kind of unfold out of your nose like a periscope. Like a periscope, so that when you went swimming, you could just shoot this periscope up, and you could just get air the whole time. That would be great. It'd have to be very long though, wouldn't it? Because if you're going 20 foot down or something.
Yeah, I think so.
I have a dualistic relationship with the ocean that I'm absolutely thrilled by and energised by it, but I'm made nervous by its immensity and its depth.
When you've been down, it's really deep down in the sea, it's when you're diving, and then you come up too fast. I think you get an air bubble in your head, and it decompresses your brain.
If I go too deep, you can have headache, or So that's the thing about diving, It's not as free as people think, I think.
I don't like the idea of being underwater for too long. About a minute is long enough for me. As long as I can hold my breath, and I want to be out of there.
If you get the bends, it can be quite narcotic. You can get a kind of narcotic effect. You don't know which direction you're going in. You don't know which is up or down. You don't know how long you've been in the water. You can't regulate yourself anymore. And I think it's it's really, really dangerous.
I've had altitude sickness, which is like the opposite, isn't it?
There's only a certain depth you can go to, isn't there, without your head exploding.
I think the sensation of lying on water and having the waves take you up and down is a very primal experience, and it's saying to me, you are tiny and insignificant, and I can sweep you away.
I've got severe motion sickness. I mean, it used to be pretty bad. I used to puke all the time, but now it's a bit better. And it's not a pleasant experience for me personally, no.
I don't like jellyfish at all. They frighten me. Don't like being stung by anything. Bees, wasps, jellyfish, any of that stuff. I don't like it.
No, there's nothing that scares me in the sea. Only the obvious floaty things which shouldn't really be there, to be honest.
I love the sea and I love swimming in the sea. I think the sea is really scary, man. It's a whole another universe in the sea, man. The sea is a big thing. All kind of things. And the thing is, actually, when you're in the sea, it's really interesting, that thing. When you kind of dive into the sea and you get in there and you go out there, you realise as a being, the being that you are, the species that you are, is you have suddenly fallen very rapidly down the food chain. You are no longer the dominant species. You are suddenly food.
I'm not afraid of anything because I gave up fear, but nothing scared me at all until somebody told me I should watch out for the sharks.
I'm okay with sharks. They have such a bad reputation. Everybody had them. I don't know why. They are quite nice.
I just don't really like the idea of feeling like even fish, which is a bit dumb because obviously they're there. The bit that I really hate is when you get that seaweed. Yeah, I suppose it is seaweed that kind of like catches around, that brown sort of like stuff like tagliatelle, but instead of that kind of like wraps itself around. That's when I get a bit freaked out, and I kind of think I'd rather be in a swimming pool.
Would be too much, could you?
If I was attacked by a shark,
Right.
I would scream.
Oh, come on.
And I'd be dead.
I don't think you could do much, could you?
Well, it depends. If he had me by the leg, I'd be able to scream and scream. But if he had me on my throat...
We were just talking about that now, that there's somebody on the news of somebody being attacked by a shark.
Crocodile.
A crocodile.
In
A
Australia.
crocodile in Australia. And I'm just going now.
Sorry.
So I do have a real phobia about the water, don't I?
Yeah.
Which is driving everybody mad now.
I'm quite low down in the food chain because there's no. I am. You ever think about this? How many things can eat me? Loads, isn't it? And you.
I've been under a lot of pressure lately.